Blackstone Publishing presents Mass Effect Andromeda, Annihilation by Catherynne M. Valente. This book is read by Tom Taylorson. Prologue. Hephaestus Station, Calliston Rift. Tech Specialist Second Class Oliver Barths looked down at the hazy, glittering sweep of the galaxy far below him. Stars and red-orange astral dust clouds reflected in the flat, polished surface of his Omni-tool. It was late, 0300. He hadn't finished his work, and he would have murdered his best friend for a piece of real meat and a mug of real gin just then, if he had a best friend. Or a mug. One more round of calibrations and he could sleep. But Oliver just stood there on his tiny silver axis platform, transfixed by the stars like a dumb kid breaking orbit for the first time. A chunk of the galactic arm glowed against his own very human, very uncelestial forearm, like a ropey piece of muscle. Or a wound. Of course it was not his first time, not even close. If he tried hard, Oliver Barths could just barely remember a time when his life was not mainly a series of shuttles, cruisers, stations, forms, contracts, someone else's kludge code, and tiny viewports in endless, dull walls. A time when his life was green and warm and kind. When he could smell real dirt under his fingernails as he drifted to sleep in a real bed every night. But that was then. That was Eden Prime. This was after. This was Hephaestus Station. Even at 0300, Hephaestus's dry dock facilities buzzed and hummed with people. This was the techies' witching hour. The machinists and engineers and cargo loaders and nosy passengers-to-be were all snug in their favorite bars or berths. Now the real work could get done. Not that anyone else saw it Oliver's way. They only saw the plasteel that separated them from the vacuum of space. They saw the power of biotic blasts that could rip that space apart with the twitch of an eyelash. But they couldn't see the code that made it all possible. Code was invisible, and therefore forgettable. And coders were more than forgettable. They were ignorable, expendable, and tragically low-paid. Kids were practically born programming these days. Why pay someone a fortune for something as basic as eating and drinking? Unless something went wrong, of course. The massive hull of the Keelah Si'yah crawled with code slingers like barnacles on an old sailing ship. Each one clung to an open node port, accessing the ship's deep banks directly for maximum security.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?